think we played a very good 36, 37 minutes of basketball today. And as the season progresses, I think that we'll find those other 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah. And Coach, the first thing I want to talk about is even though those 3 or 4 minutes let you down, those other minutes. It was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth this entire time. I mean, coming off of momentum, also coming off of Thanksgiving tournament. So what's the positive you're pulling from this?
It's hard to I keep telling my team, and I hate to say this on camera, but it is what it is. These same teams that we've lost to by 5 points, 2 points, beat us by 20 last year. And that's kind of hard for my this year team to understand because they weren't all here. But what I keep trying to explain to them is that we are growing. We knew that we would have to grow. These are teams that are really good. Nobody has scored over 50 points against Old Dominion yet this season. We played as good offensively as we possibly could have played against that kind of a defense. And so, I mean, the positive is just the fight and the resiliency, especially because we were struggling to score and struggling to see who was going to arrive as a scorer for us outside of Bella and Nyla. Where we kind of have to get better defensively, giving up 19 and 21 points in the third and fourth quarter, that's really hard, especially when you're playing such a good offensive game. So, I mean, I'm proud of my kids. They know that. They know that that the wins are coming. If they just got to stay patient and they have to keep growing.
Absolutely. And the other thing I wanted to ask you about, I mean, one play in particular to me was just the epitome, the microcosm of this specific point. Beck at the top of the key. She's just surveying the floor. You just got down on that possession on offense. Anahi's wide open. She throws an oop, a literal alley-oop to Anahi. And to me, that's just evidence of the team coming together, gelling, and making the plays that are available. Can you talk a little bit about how they've kind of gelled and how in the Thanksgiving tournament when you were away, how that kind of came to pass?
Yeah, I think I said in an earlier interview, we had players that didn't practice for like the entire preseason. Nyla Young practiced for 1 week before the season started. Alexa was hurt. She practiced for maybe 2 weeks. Kayla Roth had a concussion. She practiced for maybe 2 weeks. And these are three people that are playing really significant minutes for us. Nyla played 29. Kayla Roth played 27. Alexa played 31. Right? So it was going to take us some time to get that chemistry. But now that we actually have some game experience, they are playing off of each other a little bit better. I don't know if the Beck's oop was intentional, but Anahi is just a phenomenal athlete, so she was able to catch it and just stay high with it. So, I mean, it really is coming together. We knew that this was going to be a year that we had to really rebuild everything and rebuild our confidence, rebuild our offense and our defense. So, just to see where we are right now just makes me very excited for the future.
And you mentioned Rolfie scoring the ball, but to me, I put her and Beck kind of in the same category of they'll do whatever you need them to do as long as you put them in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So can you just tell us a little bit about like what you saw from Rolfie tonight? And now that the starting lineups have kind of stabilized, why, that feels like the right group to go with right now?
Kayla Roth is like the glue right now, right? It's hard to take her off the floor. She's probably highest behind Bella in minutes played the last 3 games. She just, like you said, does everything that we ask her to do. She is scoring the ball, which is definitely a plus, but she rebounds the basketball. She's always where she's supposed to be defensively. She executes all of our sets. I mean, she pretty much does everything that this team needs her to do. So, I mean, she's the glue and Beck is the spark, and together they're just playing off of each other very well. And we'll get Beck hitting some shots. That's where she's a little bit down right now. She was also injured, so just getting her back in the gym and getting confident in her shot. I mean, those 2 to 3 threes that she hits per game would have opened this game right up. So I'll just keep saying we're right there. I feel no way. I feel totally fine and confident in this team, and I know that we're going to put it together.
And my last one. Alexa McKeska and Cassidy Geddes kind of going back and forth, and Bella as well. She's an excellent ball handler, as we know. She's got it on a string. But right now you're getting a lot of minutes for Cassidy and a lot of minutes from Alexa. So what are you seeing from them that you like, and what is it that you're kind of hoping to get to throw into this mixture to really stabilize the point guard position?
Yeah, so what teams are doing, they're hounding Alexa, right? They're putting their best defender on her because they know that when she runs our offense, we score. So they're trying to get the ball out of her hands. The reason why we end up playing them together is because now all three of them can play the point guard, and then they can start the offense, and it takes pressure off of Alexa. You know, the first play of the game, she gets picked for a layup. Well, now she gets a little bit rattled, and instead of saying, no, you have to figure it out, you have another guard that can bring the ball up, that can start the offense, and then push Alexa off the ball. So I think that we'll be able to kind of play the three of them together quite a bit, and play them for each other just because they all can handle the ball, and at the very least can get our offense initiated.
Yeah, it's a luxury a lot of coaches, I'm sure, wish they had.
100%. Yep, 100%.
I'll give you one last one here. Just looking ahead, you got Navy at Navy in Annapolis. What are the priorities? Again, triage this one for me when you head into practice before that game.
I think I'll know a little bit more once I assess this game, see those small details. I'm just very, very small detail oriented, right? Like, where did we lack? Were we not in midline? What was it defensively that gave up so many points? I think that has to be the emphasis. I think today proved to ourselves that we can score the basketball at a high level, even with very, very pressured defense. We handled that very well. So now it's going back to our defensive end. We know that we play better when we defend. We score the basketball better when we defend. So just going back and seeing those small details, the small breakdowns that we had, and just reassessing it tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Good luck on the road.
Thank you.
All right. Good to go.
Thank you, guys.